there, welcome to On the Beat, the podcast that uncovers full frontal male nudity in cinema. My name is Laura, and I am joined not only by my co-host Ryan.
Hi, what do you call those little pastries, those Greek pastries?
Spanakopita.
Is it? I thought it was
Which one?
Black clava, isn't it?
Baklava?
Yeah, isn't it that?
Depends on which
they
one
got like
you're
spinach
talking
in them and stuff, no?
Spanakopita's got spinach.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I've been thinking about that all day.
No, I can't. Yeah.
Baklava?
I don't know what's in a baklava. Is that a
Baklava.
bread?
It's not like moussaka. Moussaka's different. I'm thinking about
That's
something
like a
else.
dish.
Yes. Well, I like moussaka as well.
I have a couple of Greek friends. I'll get them on the horn.
Yeah, just get them on the phone right now.
Call them in
Yeah.
to the podcast.
Yes.
And while you're doing that, we're also joined by our dear friend Josh,
Hello.
who is back again. I don't know what number episode this is that
I
you've
don't
been
either.
on.
It's been a lot.
It's been a few.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where we're like, hey, we're going to do this movie. You want to talk about it?
Yeah, it's like, it was kind of one of those, you like DOGTOOTH?
Yeah.
Why don't you come on here? Like, fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah, I was right. It is baklava.
Tell us what it is.
Baklava is a layered dessert made of phyllo pastry sheets filled with chopped nuts and sweetened with syrup or honey. There are many competing proposals for the origin of baklava, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, there you go. That's it. The baklava. The pastry baklava.
Amazing.
It's also Greek.
That would actually be a really good spin-off podcast for the On the Bite. For all of our food-related movie dishes.
On the bite. I would do that. I fucking love food. Absolutely love it. Supposedly baklava is originally from Turkey, Greece, and the Middle East.
All right.
Yeah, there you go. Wow.
We're on the episode of On the Beat that we're doing, we're going to be talking about the 2009 absurdist psychological drama Dogtooth, directed by Yorgos Lanthimos, and starring many people whose names I will get horrifically wrong.
Yes. I'm glad you're doing that, because I at least know how to say Yorgos Lanthimos, and that's really about as far as I'll go.
Okay.
Yes.
Christos
Yes.
Stergioglu as father, Michelle Valley as mother, Angeliki Papoulia as older daughter, Christos Pasalis as son, and Mary Sony as younger daughter.
See, it sounds like you're very eloquent, so it sounds quite adorable when you, as opposed to me brutalizing it, where I'm just like, ugh. Like it just sounds like I'm trying to vomit every time I like butcher someone's name. It's like I'm doing it deliberately.
I'm here for the feminine touch. I bring the feminine touch.
Yeah, and if people knew you in real life, they'd be like, wow, she's not that feminine.
Don't know what that means, but I'm going to take it as a compliment. So I'm trying to look like the hot chick
It's because
from
you're
Love
a,
Lies Bleeding.
you're
I'm a
a-
long way off.
well, you're a bro in a woman's body.
That is very true. I do like Will Ferrell movies
Ugh.
quite a bit.
Oof.
And as everyone
yeah.
knows, my main boy is Paul Schrader. So yes,
That's true.
I'm a lonely boy in a lady's body.
I found out
How
from
many
someone.
gay rapes have you committed?
We don't need to put numbers to it. We just...
And also, that's subjective.
It's absolutely subjective.
Yeah.
Women don't realize that when they say no, it's actually a yes. So
Is that the case?
It's okay.
But if somebody fucked you while you were passed out, that's date rape.
Okay.
yes, or just regular. Depends on who you're with.
Right.
Okay.
Wow.
Cool.
Oh. Now
I
what
I mean,
if
like, this isn't fitting the theme of about the movie we're about to
what
talk about.
if your father doesn't want anyone else in the house, so he makes your sister have sex with makes your son and your daughter have sex together?
Well, hold on. He gave them the choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, between one sister or the other sister?
Yeah, they had that.
They seemed okay with it.
They had the bath time audition.
Totally.
Yeah, where he figured out which one he wanted.
I mean, we started to get into the whole consent versus coercion debate at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
How can you consent
Yeah.
when you've been coerced?
there's also the father in this movie has really got his family in check though.
That's
He's
true.
He has really got it figured out.
He's cracked that harpoon
Exactly.
and got everyone into shape.
It's maybe one of my favorite parts in the entire movie is when he gets the fucking snorkel on and goes in with the harpoon gun into the swimming pool. Yeah, but yeah, no, he does. He has fairly tight reins over this family. And I well, I disagree. Well, I disagree with some of the things on it, but at least he's a good barometer for, I think, the modern man, and you know what, getting your family in check.
This is the
right
darkest episode of this I've ever been on.
Who
Holy shit! Like,
are you?
I
This
mean,
guy knows how to handle a family.
yeah.
You know,
He's only second to, like, say, Joseph Fritzl, who, like, kept a woman in his basement and forced her to have his children. That's kind of how
one
that
of the
was.
many creepos of the world who kidnaps a young girl and
I mean, he's a
keeps
real,
them in their
like,
basement.
I
he's
mean,
a,
that guy succeeded where Jimmy Page failed.
yeah.
That's,
Well,
know.
he was a real time monster. So, you know, in his Austrian basement. But,
Cool.
yeah.
So we're talking about Dogtooth, and I'm going to throw you
are.
the synopsis, which is pretty long, from Letterboxd. Oh, it says 3 teenagers. That's how it starts, but I'm pretty sure at least the daughter's got to be 25, but that's just
3 teenagers?
that's what it says, but I'm pretty sure all
I
these
think only one of
people
them's
are
a
in there.
teenager, probably.
These kids are in their 20s. They've got to be.
They look like that. Yeah, they look like they've been cast. It would be
I'm
more
changing
fucked
the
up
synopsis.
if they were in their 20s.
3 20-somethings are combined to an isolated country estate that could very well be on another planet. The trio spend their days listening to endless homemade tapes that teach them a whole new vocabulary. Any word that comes from beyond their family abode is instantly assigned a new meaning. Hence, the C refers to a large armchair, and zombies are little yellow flowers. Having invented a brother whom they claim to have ostracized for his disobedience, the uber-controlling parents terrorize their offspring into submission.
God, that's a hell of a synopsis. There's a lot
I
of
don't
stuff that
agree
you
with the
don't...
terrorize part. I don't think that there's any terror.
No.
No, because it's like Stockholm Syndrome.
There's
They've got no...
abuse.
Yeah, certainly it's abusive, but I
I mean,
wouldn't
actually,
call
the
it
whole
terror.
thing from birth to now is abuse.
But
Yeah, but I
again-
wouldn't
This
call it
house.
terrorizing.
But
No.
again, the whole thing is like, this is the environment they've grown up in, so they have no idea. They have no frame of reference for
Yeah, you can't.
if
you
it
can't,
is
you,
abuse or not.
You can't, judge other people's cultures.
Of course not. No. No, you can't.
I mean, just think how offended they would be by McDonald's.
Do you think this is
You
how
know?
they... Well, do you think this is how they roll in Greece? Like, this
Oh,
is
yeah,
how
all
they
of
get
them.
shit done?
This is every single family.
Totally.
This is representative of Greece.
Shit.
Yeah.
Holy
This was
fuck.
Lanthimos' call for help for Greece.
Wow.
Because we got to get the word out there, you guys.
He was the whistleblower on
He
the...
knocked his tooth out, and then he was able to leave via car.
Good.
So that's how we're able to see all of his new films.
I mean, look, if anyone convinced me that Frank Sinatra was my grandpa, then yeah, I'd be fine with it,
I
probably.
love that part so much.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, the tagline, which is amazing, I think, is "The cat is the most feared animal there is."
I
So
mean,
random.
Yeah.
Kitty.
That poor cat.
The cat gets it.
Not too many films out there that I can think of. Maybe I'm just focusing on the dogs, but there's a lot of dog murder and dog death in films. Not this one.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's
Yeah.
less cat in
Less
movies,
cat.
but
they have-
also
yeah.
it's usually not as graphic either.
No.
I mean, garden
No.
shears, that's pretty rough.
That was
I remember like
pretty funny.
stupid laughing in the theater, like an asshole. Nobody else was. It was really awkward. Like, and it was one of those things I tried to hold it back for half a second, and it just couldn't be held. And so I loud idiot laughed, and then like sucked it back in, so I wouldn't be that asshole laughing at the fucking mutilated cat on screen.
I actually laughed just like that when I watched Mother
Oh yeah,
with the baby
the
part.
baby. Yeah, it's
Because it was me and one other person, and I guffawed.
well, because it's
during
clearly
that
like when
part.
they snap it, it clearly sounds like celery. It's so funny. Like, and I mean, a giant shaky camera, violent orgy of people wanting
Yeah.
to eat this infant is amazing.
Yeah, I really
So sweaty.
It made me laugh a lot. Oh, wow. Speaking of, I don't know, families. So this is Lanthimos' second feature film that he directed like all on his own, right after Canetta. So because his first one, we were talking about it yesterday with Josh, right? It was
My
Best Friend? Yeah. Oh, I'm jumping ahead. So I'm already telling the films that he's done when I need Ryan to tell me about it.
Yeah, I was going to tell you exactly what you were just about to say.
To hush your mouth.
Yeah. So Yorgos Lanthimos is a Greek filmmaker. You'll have known him from the recent spell of the awards run from this past year, because Poor Things came out and did relatively quite well. But he's received multiple accolades, BAFTAs, Golden Globes, blah blah. But in the 1990s, he directed a series of videos for Greek dance theatre companies. He's also directed TV commercials, music videos, short films, and experimental theatre plays. And you could probably say that he's part of the postmodern film movement Greek weird wave, which was new to me. But his films often feature uniquely filmed cinematography, deadpan acting, and characters with stilted speech. I've got like a list of some of his short films here, but you know that he's made short films all the way back from 95 up until present day. You probably would have seen a couple of his short films. He did one with I think it's Matt Dillon. I think that was Nimic, I think, in 2019. But yes, in terms of his feature films...
Oh, yeah, we watched that.
Yeah, it's good.
It is good.
It is good.
Have you seen that one?
What is it called again?
Nimic?
Nimic, yeah. I think that's the same
it's
one.
on YouTube somewhere.
I have it. It's been open on my browser
Yeah.
forever, and I haven't watched it.
He's got a
really good.
bunch. Yeah, there's a bunch there. But yeah, it starts off in 2001 with My Best Friend, Canetta in 2005, and then Dogtooth comes in 2009. After that, you have Alps in 2011, Lobster 2015, and then we're kind of obviously getting into the slightly more popular, it's more westernized work, I guess, coming into Lobster.
Lobster is so good.
Killing of a Sacred Deer in 2017, The Favourite in 2018, Poor Things, obviously 2023, and he's got a new movie coming out in 2024 called Kinds of Kindness.
Hooray!
I'm excited.
I'm excited. He's got a really, really good run in my book. I haven't seen anything I don't like yet.
Yes.
So that's nice.
Yes. I'd
For
say
him.
yes.
For me.
Yeah, I've not seen all of his stuff. It's relatively quite small filmography, but everything I've seen I quite enjoy.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of My Best Friend. It just feels a little No, it actually doesn't feel experimental. It feels pretty straightforward, silly comedy. I don't know. It just didn't do a lot for me. But Canetta's it's an experimental film. It really is. It's pretty hard to follow. I've read like 3 different interpretations of what it's even about.
Oh.
And I will say it's not boring, but the narrative of it is tough. I personally think that it would have made more sense for him to make Alps in between that and Dogtooth, because Dogtooth is just such a huge step forward for him. And Alps is good, but not nearly as good as Dogtooth.
I haven't seen Alps yet, but I was reading it's like an inverse of this film in a way.
Of sorts, yeah.
It was like, this is someone trying to escape a family, and the other one is someone trying to get in. But I haven't seen it yet. I'm looking forward to it. But when I was researching this, I found out that Yorgos Lanthimos was an actor in a Friends film, and he gets naked, and I saw his balls earlier today in a
Good
film
for you.
called Attenborough from 2010. So
yeah, you said Attenborough. I heard Attenborough, like the David Attenborough story. Yeah, or like the Richard Attenborough. So Yorgos played like Richard Dickie Attenborough.
You saw the director's cut of Gandhi. Horsecock. Like, it was fucking crazy.
Well, it's just him in the editing room, like editing Gandhi.
Oh my God.
We need more Gandhi. Yeah.
Well, Attenborough's on Canopy, so as soon as our thing re-ups, because we watched too many movies on Canopy this month. I can't wait to watch it.
Well, you say we, you mean you.
Watch the whole thing.
Yeah. And then also Canopy has a habit of like glitching and taking away views from you as well, which I don't know if I believe you at this point, because it seems to happen a lot.
Listen, Canopy, I appreciate because it is from our local libraries, and we need to support our local public libraries, everyone. So, hoopla. Rental.
I disagree.
And I didn't even get to watch the movie. I was trying to watch Morven Calar. and I didn't get to watch it twice.
Wow.
I complained to Canopy. It's okay. They rectified it for the most part. So the idea for this story came from a conversation that Yorgos had with some friends where he made fun of the fact that they were getting married and like having kids. And because today he was saying that so many people get divorced and kids are being raised by single parents. And he said, there's no point in getting married. And he said, although I was obviously just joking, they got extremely defensive. And he said this made him realize how someone he knew and who he never would have expected to react that way freaks out when you mess around with your family. So the initial idea was about a man who would go to extremes to protect his family and who would try to keep his family together forever by keeping his children away from any influence from the outside world, being firmly convinced that this is the best way to raise them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like every great project, it just started with a bad joke.
Yeah, exactly.
And I get it.
And the name of it came around because he didn't like the sound of canine, because that was the tooth that they were going to talk about. He just thought that dogtooth sounded better. He thought canine sounded too clinical.
Oh, okay.
And since there's a lot of wordplay in the film anyway,
or the title of
isn't...
that, or the title of that Belushi movie about the dog, the police dog, K9.
Yeah, classic.
Jesus.
Hey, look,
get out of here.
What's wrong? I don't know. K9's okay. Like in the pantheon.
It is
of
the
like,
most okay
dog
that is ever
movies.
okayed. There is nothing remarkable about that in any way. You can't get mad at that
there's
movie.
there's
but
not.
the fact that you could even remember the title blows my mind. And it's only 2 characters.
Yeah, it's a K and a 9.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's
Clever.
Yeah, it is the literal definition of just like content. It's so incredibly empty. And
I
it's
still
just,
try to not watch movies with dogs in them. I get worried about
I don't
them.
think the dog doesn't die. It's not like Turner and Hooch, you know, like.
I had to leave the room. I can't watch that shit.
To jerk off, I get it.
Yeah. I had to be in my own private space.
Too hard for me.
So hard.
Is that the sound you make when you're horny? Oh my god.
It's terrifying.
It's awful. That makes me
And
sad.
he's gonna talk like that through the rest of the episode.
Yeah, get out while you still can. Yeah.
Lanthimos also says that girls and women in general are stronger characters than boys, and they're smarter.
I would agree.
Yeah,
They are.
of course.
Yeah, they are.
He said that it was just natural for me that the older boy would be the father's favorite, but at the same time, he tries the hardest and seems somewhat more immature. It also has to do with the fact that boys are seen as much more deserving of having sex and entitled to do more things than girls in Greek culture. See, we can't talk crap about culture, right? When it comes to the girls, the parents never think that they need to be educated about sex and that they deal with them in a much more conservative way. So it creates this bizarre situation where they just discard any kind of thought about this with regard to girls. For the boy, however, they're very proud of him having sex.
Man, Greece is weird. I'm really glad we're not like that here.
Yeah, weird wave.
Yeah, it's so weird that
Yeah.
men are lauded for their sexual endeavors and women are just...
Well, I'm
Cast.
doing my part, but I have never been lauded for my sexual behaviors. I haven't as much as gotten a handshake.
Oh my God.
A pat on the back. Good job, little fella.
Was it that movie, What's
Good
Your
show.
Number? That Anna Faris movie with Chris Evans where they're talking about how, I think it was that movie, if not, it doesn't really matter, but if a man tells you how many people he's had sex with, you have to like cut it in half. And if a woman tells you how many people they had sex with, you have to double it to get the real
That
number.
sounds familiar. I don't remember what that's from, but
Okay.
I do remember that conversation.
I don't
Is
know if
that
it was
right?
that movie. And
Is that true?
I've never
know.
lied about it. This might make it worse. I just don't remember.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
I don't know if I
I could-
remember either. I don't know if I want
Yeah.
to remember.
If I made a list, there would be things I would miss for sure.
Yeah.
Probably because of alcohol.
I don't
Yeah,
think it's a
sure.
good period of my life. I don't really want to remember it.
Well,
Really.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're swinging
go.
20s.
What's swinging? My swinging 20s?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, at my age. Yeah, no. I don't know. I thought it was something else you were referring to. I
No.
was like, yeah. Yes. No, I do like how this film starts. And it this was the first time I'd ever seen it, but I do like the way that this starts, and it spoon feeds you little bits of information because I was intrigued by everything that was going on. At one point though, I thought Christina was wearing an eye patch, and this was where, because some of my notes are kind of me literally thinking out loud. So that there was a security guard with an eye patch, no, a blindfold. Are they, wait, what? A prostitute? No, Christina's here. And I was like, right, okay. Yeah, no, it was, it was crazy. Because this is like the first moment as well. And it's only like 6 minutes in. And I mean, for me to just kind of describe that moment to you is pretty much how the film goes. And it does spoon feed you just a little bit, just little bits and bobs until you kind of finally get an interesting idea of what's actually going on here.
It never fully explains what's going on. You never know the backstory of why the parents decided to raise their kids this way. You know, there's times where I thought, do people even know they have kids? Did they have the kids at home in secret?
Yeah.
You know,
I like that that's not addressed. I think that's good.
No, it's great. I don't need to know any of that, you know, and how it has progressed and exacerbated over the years. You know, I'm sure that it started small and then it just kind of got out of control until they're in this situation where that they're in now.
Well, the father's the only one that leaves. He's the only one that has any sort of connection to the outside world, and he's the one grabbing the supplies and bringing them back.
I like that you call that woman supplies. That's good.
I guess.
The sex supplies.
Yes.
Well, the mom I think she used to leave. They said that she played handball and she was a professional handball player.
Yeah.
And his coworker really wanted to have drinks with them, and he's like, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, back to this dick scene though, and talking about handballs. Christina's there, and you know they start taking their clothes off.
You're going right into the dick scene, huh?
I think we should. Yeah, I think we should just get in because there's a lot of stuff that we're gonna have to cover. You know, and they start taking their clothes off. Stylistically, the film is effectively made up of a lot of oneers. I would say that they are incredibly unconventional frames that are held, but I do respect it for the fact that even two-way conversations, you're only ever shown, say, one perspective during the course of a conversation. And this is one shot. They take their clothes off. It's very brief. He turns. This is the brother, I guess, the middle sibling.
Hold your horses for a second.
Okay,
You're
sorry.
rushing through this penis scene.
Well, no, I wanted to get to this
exciting.
thing I wrote down because I thought it was funny.
Oh, hold on.
Where he gets a wee hand wank to get the engine motored and chops away.
Oh my God. This is 6 minutes and 29 seconds into the film. It's interesting at this point because you don't know who this woman is. She's blindfolded. This man drives her to a gated off house and just goes into the son's bedroom, folds up the blanket on his bed, and is just like, here you go. And it's weird because at that point you don't know, you don't really know who she is or where she came from, if the family knows her, like how, if there's other people that come to the house.
It is revealed later where she's from, though.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. But, you know, we're only 6 minutes in. She's the only person who has a name in the whole film.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Except for Bruce.
Bruce, yeah.
She names herself. But yeah, it's weird when they walk into the room, the son is doing like chest exercises like Josh Brolin in Goonies. You remember that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that's how they tie him up to that chair so they can go on their adventure.
That's right.
One-eyed Willie.
The room is like, it's like fluorescent lighting or something with that green. It's kind of like that gross green color in the bedroom as well. I don't know if you noticed that. I just thought it was an icky color.
I don't know.
Because the rest of the house and the garden is gorgeous.
It is, yeah. It's quite I wouldn't say it's bleached, but it's quite overexposed. There's a lot of whites. It's kind of pastel-y, I would say, in a little bit. You know, certainly with some of the decorations and things and the way that people are colored in with their clothings and things like that.
Yeah, she does give him that little tug, that little.
Yeah.
Just
we hand wank to get the engine motored and chops away. Dry bone. That's what I wrote down.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of things in these movies where, like, the woman's not given very much time, so she kind of has to be ready regardless.
No, dear.
Straight in, knee kissing.
Thank you. I was
Yeah.
waiting for that. That woman is dry as a bone.
Yeah,
You
easily.
don't know what she was doing before she went in that room.
She
She was
did
in the
not look
car.
interested.
You
Yeah.
Maybe in the car. She had a job to do. She was prepping.
Yeah.
Was she embarrassed in front of the dad?
No.
I mean, I'd be scared in
No.
front of the dad. That dad is fucking sociopathic.
Or maybe the dad made her do it.
I mean, he was
Get
paying
that hole
her.
ready. He seemed to say.
Well, I do have to point out as well, like, he's not particularly selective. It's like she's the security guard at the place where he works.
Yeah.
So he
The
just kind of
only
asked her.
the only woman of the outside world that we ever see.
Yes.
She's cute though.
Well,
Not a
who's-
bad choice.
Well, who's the other woman in the outside world that we see?
That's it.
She is the only
She's the only
woman.
one.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Oh, he's wearing those white pants and he just takes them down. Just that butt.
Well, he holds them, he
Right in
folds
the
them, and then he
frame.
puts them down. At least he folds them,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, if he doesn't fold them, he's not going to get a sticker for his headboard. So
That's true.
That's pretty. Yeah, I do like that little touch. I think that's great.
oh. Well, once he fills up that headboard with stickers, he gets to pick the night's entertainment. So, which I wish wasn't just home movies of them sitting still.
I like it though that they've obviously watched this whole movie several hundred times because she's able to mouth it word for word, beat for beat that entire time. Because we do know they have access to videos. Like, there's there's adult videos and stuff that they also have, but obviously the children aren't. Well, the 20-year-olds aren't watching that.
No, they're not allowed.
Yeah, they're not allowed to
Yeah.
watch the pornography.
It's very quick. Like, it's very quickly from that one moment you start to conjure up ideas of like Stockholm syndrome, and it reminded me a little bit. I don't know if this is like, it's not direct kind of thing, but like Zone of Interest. It kind of gave me that sort of feeling because you're in a confined space.
It's confined and it's sterile.
Yes.
All of it's very sterile.
Yeah.
It's just
Not as disturbing as that movie is, but certainly certainly it has.
Well,
it has
yeah,
feelings
because
of
make-believe rape is a lot less upsetting than
actual
real
genocide.
actual
yeah.
Holocaust.
Yeah.
yeah. That's true. That is true.
Yes.
Yeah, that when Christina's about to leave though, and they're all on the couch and they want to take a video. They're like, "Oh, let's take a video." And then the son runs in and sits next to them, and they're just sitting there smiling while he takes a home video.
Yeah.
It killed me. I laughed so much. Oh, we don't have one with Christina in it. Come on, sit down. And then they just smile.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. You're assuming that Christine as well is probably the most normal out of the bunch, as she has an interaction with the outside world.
Well,
but
she
she's kind of really
she's
isn't.
she is a normal person. She just
Yeah.
lives. She's a person
She has a normal life.
in the world. Yeah.
Yeah, she's got a side hustle.
Yes.
Times are tough.
Yeah, I don't know how much money she's making. per
Times are
poke,
tough.
but-
Well, you know what?
I would imagine more than
Yeah.
Ubering.
I mean, well, yeah. I don't know when Greece had that economic crisis, but certainly yes.
Yeah.
If that was ponied up to you, I'd probably
You'd
take
fuck
it
that
as
boy
well.
for, if you...
Probably.
You
I mean,
too.
he's
Times
20
are
years
tough.
old,
Times are
so
tough.
yeah.
You seem nice.
He's
Well,
in his 20s. Yeah, he looks a little
I mean, you would
simple.
definitely get that hole ready before you got there because you think ahead. But
yeah,
Yes.
because that's
But
Yeah, I'm not going in dry bone.
yeah.
That'd be
You know
silly,
what?
yeah.
In that bag, she's got a pretty big bag, so she's
Yeah.
probably got
yeah,
something in there to help because she
Yeah,
knows.
a
Yeah.
giant
He's just gonna
jar of
go in.
KY.
Yeah.
Yeah, just get it ready. Get yourself set and sorted. Yeah, exactly.
Oh God, I'm thinking ahead.
You are thinking ahead.
Ugh.
You know what I thought was kind of one of the most cruel moments, and it's with very particular mouthwashes as well. But have you ever had like that Listerine? You've left it in your mouth, and it's been in your mouth for so long, and then it starts to burn the inside of your mouth. Yeah,
I was thinking about that when that was the punishment
yeah.
for him. But usually for me, if you leave Listerine in your mouth too long, all the spit gets in there and it's diluted. So it doesn't hurt so bad. So I don't know which.
there's strong.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it has to be alcohol based.
Yeah.
It will hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought about it when it happened, and he was so desperate to spit it out. That has happened. has happened with mouthwash with me before. So, not as fun as the anesthesia game, which I think everyone should play.
I don't disagree.
All of
Yes.
these weird, violent endurance games, like putting your hand under a hot tap and then,
Yeah.
That did make me laugh when they were confused about the tap situation and how they were going to do it. It's like how they could regulate the temperature on 3 taps, but it would be easier just to have your fingers under the same tap.
yes, of course. Probably the bathtub.
And they were still
tap
confused even after they'd figured it out.
would be the easiest one.
Yeah, no, like you guys probably found it funnier than I did. Certainly, this is the first time I'd saw it, so I was kind of getting acquainted with its tone.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, there was I would not disagree with people thinking it's horrific. But then once you do kind of adjust yourself to what it's trying to do, at least from like a comedy perspective, because if you're not laughing at this film, you're crying.
yeah,
Because it's super fucked up, some of the stuff that happens
Yeah.
in this film.
yeah, that's true. I think
Like
that
the
was
unbridled cruelty of this father, who I, strangely enough, started to respect a fair amount because the charade he's playing and the games he's up to, I was like, holy shit, like this is something to be respected. Like he's a fucking genius with some of the things that he was getting away with.
That's hard to.
There's so many weird things that happen in the film as well, like with the toy planes and all this sort of stuff. And it's like, oh, they fall out of the sky when this, because it's like that bit in Father Ted where they're Father Ted's describing to Dougal that the cows that are just outside of the window that are small because they're far away, and the little plastic one he's got in his hand is because it's small.
Right, it's exactly the same.
Yes.
Yeah. I love Father Ted.
Yeah.
Great show.
Yeah. I mean, that's a standout moment. You've seen Father Ted, haven't you, Josh?
I have not. I don't know what that is.
Holy fuck.
It's really funny.
You are in for a treat.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh dear. Oh, I wrote down when you see the dad's balls. That's unfortunate.
I did also put it, but
Where they put their headphones on,
Oh, I love that moment.
and then he
It's
leaves
so
his tank
good.
top on.
Yeah, when he does it.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
porky
does.
pigging. Yeah. Well, he does a lot of porky pigging, because the second moment where we see him, he's porky pigging as well.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want her to see my chest, you know.
No, I just want to tell
Yeah.
everyone in the house. You guys should call before you come over. Because there is a good chance I'm just, in the kitchen making some dinner.
That's
Nothing
dangerous.
but Taylor
Yeah.
Swift t-shirt and socks.
It's like frying up some bacon.
Gotta keep the socks on.
Ow.
Oh yeah, that's painful.
Yeah. Spattering.
God, there's so much random violence, which I think is so funny considering how very sterile it is.
Yeah.
The whole time, and the outside is so beautiful. That pool is nice. It's very green and lush outside.
But what you
And
find
then-
out is that the way to control people in general is to just inject a little bit of fear into them.
Well, a lot of the violence though comes from the siblings themselves. They'll get angry.
Yes.
It's like when I was a little kid and my brother would annoy me, we would fight, right? We'd fight and we'd scratch and push and just like destroy things.
I'd pick up a knife and slash
But
his
that's
arm.
the thing. These kids get older and they haven't grown out of that childhood
they're
mentality.
not emotionally mature in any
No.
way. They're incapable of it. So they have the physical ability of an adult with the mental capacity of like a 6-year-old.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have access to a knife and you're mad at your brother, slash him in the arm.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that was super fun. And it also, because these acts of violence effectively come out of nowhere, it's like, yeah, it makes it even more shocking.
Because there's no real, like, there's no red in the
'Cause
movie
we're the
until
gang.
someone gets
No.
cut or someone
Yes.
murders a cat
Yeah.
in a horrible way.
Fucking cat. And it's the smallest cat as well.
It was like a kitten.
Tiny little
It was a
cat.
kitten, and then the model of the dead cat was like a bigger cat. it
Yeah.
looked like, but
Yeah.
that was a very funny
Yeah, it did
model
look-
of a dead cat.
It did look
Tongue out.
did look very stupid, yeah, and his entrails out as well is just like, okay.
That helped. It helped.
That wide shot when he puts those shears down on that cat, it's fucking insane. It is fucking crazy.
It's really bad.
It's like, holy fuck. Fucking madness.
And then when the dad comes back, right, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna use this to my advantage," right? And he cuts up his pants and puts, I look like paint that he was just covering
it was just
himself
paint.
in.
Yeah, it was just paint.
And he's like, "This is the most dangerous creature that's out there." He says the cats eat children's flesh. Like the whole body eats the whole body. The most dangerous creature out there is a cat.
That's fucking
And then he
great.
teaches them to bark like dogs, which is one of my favorite things.
It scares the cats away.
Yeah.
Yeah, it scares the kitty cats away.
Because the dog they have in training isn't ready yet. He's only on stage 2 of 5.
Yeah, and that dog looks fucking terrified as well. Like that poor fucking animal.
Because they have all those Dobermans, but the dog they have is like a fluffy.
It's like a mongrel. Yeah, it's just
Medium.
like a crossbreed dog that's just
Adorable.
kind of yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, if dogs are 10 or a dozen in Greece, but yeah, they were dead set on getting that dog trained. It's yeah.
Do you want an animal or a friend?
I mean, yeah.
So you see instead of just seeing the dad's balls, you do see you caught me onto that. I thought that you didn't see the dad's.
Well, no, I think maybe it might have been the
naked.
subtitle issue because the subtitles cover that whole bottom of the frame.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And it was only when it disappeared I was like, no, there it is. I can see it.
Yeah.
That scene in general is just fucking odd because like there's the blowjob on the because they're watching porn.
Yes.
And she's like lying on his. She's got her head on his knee. And her top's open, so her boobs are exposed,
Yes.
and they're just having a normal chat, and he's porky pigging it still.
Of course.
And she's like, "I'm pregnant."
That was such a weird conversation too.
Yeah,
Because she's saying how she's pregnant and it's twins and it's a boy and a girl. And then he goes, 2 boys? And she's like, thinks about it. No. And he's like, what about triplets? And I'm like, are you choosing? What are you doing?
well, they're
And
conjuring
they've
up
got to
the
be that
story
man
though.
in the film. Like the actor is 57 years old.
Yes.
Okay. So how old is this woman? Like who's still I don't think she's pregnant at all.
No.
Yeah.
It's just weird that it's the 2 of them having that conversation and then they use it as leverage against the kids later.
Yeah, I think whether or not
Like if you guys are good, I don't have to have this kid. I'll make sure that I don't. And if you guys are bad, I don't have any choice. I'm gonna have to have these kids.
who knows, she might not be pregnant. I will point out, you do say, wow, that conversation's quite weird. There are plenty of weird conversations that happen in this movie.
It's just an
and
odd
that's-
one between the 2 people who are in the know.
I mean, arguably, Poor Things is Lanthimos' most normal movie. Like
Didn't-
straightforward narrative, dialogue, nothing too
No.
that you have to piece together.
Well, what
True.
about
And that movie's
the favorite
bonkers.
though?
Yeah.
So, favorite I think is the same way. My point
Yeah.
is that even his most mainstream normal thing is pretty fucking weird.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that other Papa Porky Pig scene is 48 minutes and 56 seconds. The porno watching scene that we've been talking about.
Yes, they were just casually watching some saucy videos.
I'm sure that it was still on. You know what I mean? They hadn't turned the VCR off yet.
I love that it's a VCR.
Hell yeah. It's like
That's really good.
everything in the house is from when you don't have a time frame
Right.
for it, but it seems as though everything in the house is around 25 years old, right?
Yeah, like everything is
Yeah.
about
So
how old the kids are.
Exactly.
They just stopped, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, a videotape is a much more visceral thing to smash
someone
someone
with.
with. Yeah. A DVD isn't going to do the job.
That's true.
No.
So you need the tape.
Although they do that in
And
Old
the
Boy though, where he
VCR.
snaps that CD and he fucking slashes
Yeah.
slashes Odesu's friend's throat with that fucking.
I feel like that would
broken
be
CD.
a weird tonal shift in this movie if all of a sudden he slashed the throat of somebody
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
in reference to Old Boy.
it was. Yeah,
A strange homage to Old Boy halfway through Dogtooth.
it's
Or
definitely
that, like,
funnier.
what is it, the second or third Hellraiser movie, that Cenobite that's got the CDs?
Yeah, that's the third one.
Who fires CDs?
So
yeah,
good.
he's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's the best
he
one.
was. Yeah, well, he is the best one. Yeah, he's the scariest as well, but he's also comical. Yeah, no, I do like the fact that he's like, get me the duct tape. He tapes that video cassette to his hand, and then he just batters her with his videotape fist. You know,
Right, and I mean, we're not going to break down every single thing. There's way
No.
too much. But the fact that Christina has been trading trinkets for sexual favors from the girls because the boy is inept at fellatio. So, or cunnilingus. Sorry, fellatio is for a man.
Yeah.
Cunnilingus
phallus.
is for a woman.
yeah, there you go, bro. There you
Sorry,
are.
I know.
Yeah, you lost your.
Fellatio is for a phallus. Cunnilingus is for cunt. Come on.
This is
Right?
yes,
It's
absolutely.
science. It's scientific.
That is science. I am a scientist. My bad.
Do you even
I'm
foreplay,
focused.
bro?
I'm more focused on the fellatio in my job of doing this podcast. I am. That's what we talk
Alright.
about.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, so she's trading trinkets like a sparkly
fuck.
headband or hair gel, which she didn't want. And then so she gets those videotapes, which kind of, modern media, that's what spirals kids out of control these days.
Ain't that the truth?
Of course.
You
yeah.
know, it's
Certainly
really
the first,
dangerous.
Yeah, well, the first time I watched Jaws and Rocky, I started spiraling out of control. And I've obviously turned into the monster I am today.
That's
I
right.
mean, you guys do run a dick podcast.
Yeah.
Model members of society right here.
That's right.
I have zero shame. And we'll never have children. It's not like we'll have to give up our legacy or anything. It dies with us.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we
So-
named our dog Bruce, just as the eldest daughter wanted to name herself.
Yes, which is weird because why did
yes.
she call herself Bruce?
That is very interesting.
Because I thought it was a reference to Jaws, but that's not even uttered in the movie because that's a behind the scenes thing.
I think it's probably still
Just a reference.
yeah,
Yeah.
just a little wink.
It's fine. I don't mind that cheeky little Yorgos wink because he does do that. But yeah.
Do you have a no? You don't. Okay, just checking,
He
making sure
just
we're
looked at
on our.
his phone and put it back.
No, it's fine. Everything's fine.
Well, I was thinking, like, is there a Bruce in Rocky or in Flashdance? And I couldn't really think of any.
I can't think of any.
Flashdance? Was Flashdance the other thing?
Well, there was only 2 tapes, and so I'm a little bit like, but she does a Flashdance dance
Oh yeah, she does.
at the end.
Yeah.
You're
so
right.
I don't know where the 3rd videotape came from, unless she got that. It was in the porno stash.
Maybe it
of her
was.
parents' room or something.
Well, yeah, the Rocky and the Jaws stuff is pretty recognizable because she's just saying lines from the movies. Yeah, Flashdance is a little bit more, little bit more obscure, the way it's kind of depicted in the film. But
Speaking
why are we
of-
talking about that?
I know. I was going to say this is a
Exactly.
great segue into. God, should we have a trigger warning or something?
Oh, it's fine.
For incest.
A trigger warning for
It's
what?
consensual incest.
Yeah,
Nobody's raping nobody.
They allowed the boy to
No.
pick which sibling he wanted to have sex
Well,
with, and then is it? I mean,
And she didn't.
it would be
She never said
considered
no.
It would be considered a little
You don't
rapey.
have to say no, but God.
Yeah, let's not find ourselves in the
how long? I
position
mean, we
of
could probably talk about that for an
defending.
hour. It's just the fact that Christina's not allowed in the house anymore because
Why
she
would we want
brought
to
in
speak
the
about it for an hour? I don't
because
understand.
there's a lot to unpack there.
Well, I'd rather not unpack it. I'd rather just put it
An
on
hour
a plane and
and 17 minutes and 40 seconds. Okay, so this is like
10 minutes shy of the end.
yeah, where you get to be left with that flavor in your
oh for God's sake, the flavor,
Yeah.
the fucking
mouthfeel.
incest
the
flavor.
mouthfeel of the incest. But right, because his hired vagina isn't allowed in the house anymore because she gave the videotapes,
Yeah.
which ruined eldest
Yeah.
daughter's mind.
The dad
And-
whacked her over the head with a VCR.
Yes.
So he got it. Yeah, he did that.
Yes. That was also very brutal.
Well, they also
And very, I kind of I laughed a little bit, but that's
I
just
laughed.
me.
I laugh at that every time.
Because he just unplugs it really delicately and like walks over.
yeah.
And she goes, oh no. It's so heavy as well. It's so big that
I mean, it's a VCR. VCRs are naturally heavier pieces of machinery.
Oh my God.
You know.
But because she's not allowed anymore, it's just the decision of the father, essentially,
You got to keep that son
that
happy.
the son has to keep having sex because of reasons. And they were just going to give the eldest daughter to him, but then they let him choose. Which
Yes.
one, by having him, oh God, like close his eyes and then just feel the boobs and butt to see which one
At least
had the best hand feel.
At least he
Right.
picked
Which of
the
his
old-
sisters?
I mean, maybe
Yeah.
he was able. Maybe giving the option meant that he got to pick the one who wanted to do it.
Stop.
I'm just really trying to rationalize this and make it make it okay.
At least he picked.
I'm just trying to be pro incest here.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, we need someone like that on the panel. We just
He
need
picked-
someone
At
to.
least he picked. Here's the only saving grace. At least he only picked the older one, so it's not like it's pedophilic.
They're all
incest.
old enough for.
yeah.
You don't
Well,
know. You just
their
said in the
bodies-
synopsis that they were teenagers.
No, I don't think they're teenagers, but
Maybe they were. Maybe they were just. She's on the cusp of turning 18, and all the rest of them are. All the rest of them are
legal age of consent in
younger.
Greece?
oh, great question.
Let's find out.
Wow, we need to
What?
do this more often before every
Legal.
show. What is this?
I know, we ask this.
Anytime we do a movie outside of the U.S., what is
Sorry
the
about the
legal
key
age of
typing
consent?
and that. Take a guess.
13.
No,
Oh, good.
it's a little higher.
15?
15.
It's 15. Okay.
Oof.
See, it's fine.
Yeah, it's all right. It's Europe, I guess.
Yeah.
Because it's 16 in
Consent
in
cannot
the
be given
UK.
by a person who is drunk or drugged or by someone else on your behalf. Good to know. Greek law.
Nice. At least I know now.
Okay, where did we get to? All right, yeah, he picks the eldest daughter,
Yes.
his older sister,
Mm-hmm.
and there is that moment where the mom is dolling her up, right? And she's got that bright, was it blue makeup
Well,
on her
they tart
eyes?
her up a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tarted her up a
They
bit.
tart her up.
And I'm wondering, as the mom's brushing her hair, does she just think to herself, did we go too far?
No.
You don't
Well,
think
hold on.
so?
Doesn't she start crying at one point? What was she crying about? I'm trying to remember. I mean, maybe it was that.
And the kids are not supposed to see you cry. That is very important.
Yes, no. Maybe she's maybe she's not having a good time with it. I mean, it'd be safe to say that maybe she's not having a good time with it. It does seem like a little bit of a nightmare. And
Just
by
a
little
bit.
yeah,
just a bit
little
that maybe this experiment has gotten out of control a
Potentially.
tiny bit to where you're having your kids have sex for reasons.
Yes. Reasons.
And
Yeah.
me, oh my.
You see an erection. She
Yeah,
just
I'm
kinda-
I'm curious if it's real. If not the erection. The erection seems real, but the sex act, I feel like it might be.
Oh, you think that they
I think that
like
the
it's
actors,
an unsimulated
yeah, I think
situation?
the actors fucked on screen. I think they did.
It wouldn't surprise me. I did not find that in my research, but sometimes a lot of people don't ask those type of questions. Not like 9 songs.
Cowards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like
I think
or like at least in Europe, like they don't ask it because it's just like a given. Like it's just kind of it's just like there it is, you know. It's like
yeah, it's not
it's nothing special.
it's our Puritan society
Yes.
that wonders.
I don't want to
did it
say
go
that
in?
like in Europe incest is slightly more acceptable,
No,
but
not
it's like
not
yeah.
incest. Sex on screen. I don't think incest is cool.
Well, I mean,
I
it's
mean,
like
it's pretty cool.
who's the monster now?
Wow.
Sister
Well, Josh
fucking
was
is
an
bitchin'.
Josh was an only child, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Right, you don't know.
All my friends with siblings hate when I break out this whole line of rhetoric. Like, well, what if she was on the pill and he wore a condom? They're both over 18. They're sober. What's really wrong? And all I ever hear is it's gross. Not a good enough answer.
Yeah, your love is love argument doesn't really work too well.
I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying that I don't think that it's necessarily objectively wrong. Or at least I can't come up with reasons for it to be. I can plenty subjectively. I can tell you how I feel about it.
I think
but
I don't
step
think
outside yourself. I don't know. I'd love to hear him. Change my mind.
I don't think it's right. But what I do think is deplorable is having children in an incestual relationship, because they're
sure. That's why I said on the pill and wearing a condom.
That's how Joffrey came about, and that's a real big problem.
Fucking eyes bugging out of their head and fucking buck teeth and shit, like looking like real freaks. Like that's the sort of thing.
Okay, guys, incest is not okay. All right?
You say so.
I'm just saying it's yucky, and...
Just because you don't like it doesn't mean nobody else is allowed to.
Stop! Okay, I did find a little bit of information because...
I don't like Diet Pepsi.
Stop it. Stop it!
Yeah.
So,
Doesn't have the same flavor, you know? Like, Diet Pepsi feels like it's missing something from ordinary Pepsi.
I mean, if Lana Del Rey has taught me anything,
yeah,
a regular Pepsi. Not good.
Carry on, Laura.
Thank you so much. Some interviewers were asking Lanthimos about the incest, obviously, because it's a hot topic. And he said we didn't rationalize what we were doing. It wasn't psychological. It was physical. Bring your body into a situation, but leave everything else out. Don't think about it. What does it mean? Is it right or wrong? What would be the rational way to react? Forget that. And just feel the other person's hand, or the wall, or the ball. That's how they tried to forget everything they knew as actors or as people, just by trying to be empty every day and to react to everything that was happening just in that moment. And at that point, the interviewer asked him, he's like, so do you do all of the actors thinking for them? He goes, yes.
I mean, it's kind of his job.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has to make sure that it's all going in the right direction.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Call him moving props.
He did, yeah. He's like, or I think Stanley Kubrick also said, like, yeah, they're kind of like they're like a donkey. Like, if you give them too much rope, they'll end up hanging themselves.
God damn.
Yeah. Here's the thing, like, they're all asking about the incest or whatever, but, like, no one at any point addresses the fact that there's a cat with a hammer that walked into that kid's bedroom and fucking kneecapped him.
Very scary stuff. They did say that cats are the most dangerous thing on the other side of the wall.
Cats with hammers. Just, like, picture that.
That knee is broke.
Cats with fucking hammers.
I love that so much. Because you know the dad's like, Jesus Christ. Like, he's like, I can't punish her for whacking him in the knee with a hammer. But, like, you just got to go along with it.
I do like the rationalization where it's like, no, she hit me with the hammer. And he's like, no, you're delirious from the pain. It was a cat with a hammer. Yeah.
Why weren't you prepared, son, for the cat and the hammer?
It was pretty great. It's pretty awesome.
Hammers. Yeah.
Fucking terrifying. Yeah. Absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, after are we done talking about the incest?
Are we?
I think so.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's
going.
the same. It goes the same way as the first time where he has Christina, you know?
Yeah.
He has his routine, very clinical.
But you see a lot more. That's the thing. Like, you're seeing a full erection happening. And it's a lot. Yeah, I mean, let's be serious for a second. It's really uncomfortable.
I once again watched this movie with my headphones on, and it wasn't like 9 Songs where it's just
Wet
sounds.
Yeah.
This was just wooden bed creaking.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that either. Didn't like it.
Yeah.
But when it's over, which I laughed a lot. She has this whole thing that she says, and it's from what I understand, it's not a line from any movie. I think it's just like her gathering kind of words and vocabulary from movies, right? And just like kind of she's maybe starting to think for herself and starting to come up with her own phrases and stuff, not just the weird things that her parents come up with and the fake words for things. But she says a whole thing, but I just like, she goes, "Do that again, bitch, and I'll rip your guts out." She says something about his clan.
Yeah.
Ruining his clan, which I don't know what that's, it's not from anything, but it made me laugh.
Yeah.
Rip your guts out.
It is, yeah. You're kind of understanding of their language. And I mean, not like the Greek language, but like the language of which they've adopted certain words to mean different things. Like pussy is a light.
Just a big light.
And a zombie is a small yellow flower. To the point where like he sees a couple of flowers and he's like, "Mom, I've seen a couple of zombies in the garden." But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It all ends. Are we good? Can I move on from the incest?
Yeah.
Anything
Yeah,
else?
I think so. I think we've covered it.
Okay,
We've covered
great.
it pretty well.
Good,
I think. Yeah.
I'm good. We kind of come to the end of the film. It's
Well, it comes full circle. There's this whole idea, because it's called Dogtooth for a reason. If they lose one of their dog teeth, one of their canines, then they're able to leave.
Doesn't matter which one, left or right.
Yes, they're able to leave the compound. They're able to leave the
Well, no,
house.
if you lose the dog tooth, you are. God damn it!
It's because you're saying the D word.
I know I said the
Yeah.
D. If you lose your dog tooth, you're old enough to leave, and it's something about like you can leave once it grows back, and you can only leave by car.
Right.
Something like that. And
Okay.
it's impossible.
Very particular.
It's an impossible situation, obviously,
Yeah.
because that's not real. You can't do
Yes.
that. And they're just like waiting to be able to leave. And I really like that whole thing where you can only leave by car. You know, it's
Yeah.
like they see their toy plane, right? And they can't pass the threshold
Yes.
to leave. And the dad drives the car, picks up the toy airplane, and then backs the car back up to get it for them.
I love that moment. Yeah.
And how when they're, that comes in a minute. But yeah, it does come to a head when she decides
She's getting rid of
she's
that tooth.
getting rid of that damn
knock her,
tooth.
Knock her fucking tooth out of her mouth. Yeah.
That's rough. I think
It's
that's the
rough,
roughest part of the
yeah.
whole movie. That is
Yeah.
the only part that really makes me squirm. Where I kind
Yeah.
of feel like I need to look away a little bit.
I feel like anything to do with teeth in general.
Yeah.
Or like things,
Fingernails.
little things getting
Ooh,
cut
yeah,
off.
no,
yeah.
fingernails.
Yeah.
Fingernails, like an ear falling off or some shit. Like The Fly, for example.
Yeah.
It's like when he spits his teeth out of his fucking mouth.
The movie's really hot though.
What? Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, who wouldn't fuck Brundlefly? But yeah. Yeah, it's kind of gross.
She also pops out a lateral incisor as well. She doesn't just get the one.
Yeah.
She gets a couple.
She uses
Yeah,
like
she wasn't
a
using a
hand
precision
weight.
tool.
No, just battering her fucking mouth with a
Dumbbell, right?
hand weight. Yeah,
It's like a 2-pound weight.
2-pound weight. Yeah.
Oh my god.
We can check that. We've actually got it. We've got weights behind the door.
I think this I think this smallest is a 3-pound. I think it's about a 2-pound weight, I'd say.
All right,
Yeah.
there you go. Well, we can
Yeah,
try
just for
that out
toning.
later. We'll get some
Toning and
YouTube
knocking out your
content. Yeah,
teeth.
yeah. You can hold the camera and I'll start batting my fucking mouth with the 2-pound weight. See what happens.
Yeah, just see what happens. What I like about that moment, right, is that it's like she believes them enough that the tooth has to go, right?
Yes.
In order to leave. But it's kind of like a weird thing because she knows that the tooth has to fall out, but she knocks it out instead. And then she leaves and hides in the car.
Yeah.
So it's like she believes them enough to know that it has to go, but she still sneaks away.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you could have just been like, here it is.
Yeah.
It fell out, but they would know it was fake, but she doesn't know that either. It's
But I
just
think-
kind of a weird.
Yeah. But I think also with the parents, though, they came up with something that was relatively infallible. There was no part of them where they were thinking, oh, well, she'll just knock her teeth out and she'll be able to go. Like, it's a scary proposition that they don't think they would ever, undertake.
Right.
He's got them to the point of believing that cats are fucking really dangerous. Like, tiny little kittens
Yes.
are, like, the most dangerous animals on the planet. So, the idea of her, because she's exhibiting traits throughout the course of the movie as she's, as we're going through the course of the story, where she's exploring herself and she's exploring different things. And that consequently means that she's going to start exploring outside of the house as well. So, it does come to a head. A very satisfying ending, I would say.
Oh, yeah.
So
I love it. I love the ending of this movie. I love an ambiguous ending.
yes,
I'll take
we won't
it.
we won't spoil it because you should watch it yourself.
The youngest daughter, Mary Sony, was not a professional actor. I think Yorgos has a thing for non-actors. She was in a punk band called Mary and the Boy, but she passed away in 2017, a month before her 30th birthday, because she had a pulmonary edema.
Holy shit!
Wow.
Yep.
Fuck.
That is excessive fluid accumulation in the tissue or air spaces of the lungs, which can lead to respiratory failure.
All right.
Which sucks.
Thank you, scientist.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was the internet. And they didn't know about this at the time, but in 1970 there was a Mexican film called Castle of Purity made by Arturo Ripstein. And it's similar themes where it was inspired by a story in the newspapers in the 50s about a man who isolated his family and didn't allow them to leave. So, and he didn't know about it at the time, but people were saying like, "Oh, you stole it from this guy," and he goes, "I didn't even know about it."
I mean,
but that's happened. That happens.
Yeah.
This isn't the first film of a fucked up family though, because there's also like Visitor Q is also another movie that has a fucked up family in it, and that came out in like 2008, I think. I think it was earlier than this one. So they're not the same, but you can draw parallels to quite a number of different films.
Oh yeah. The budget of this film was 250,000 euros.
Wow, that's less than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot less than I thought.
It was helped.
I mean, I knew it wasn't super high budget, but shit.
Yeah, the production was helped by volunteers for the most part, and mostly monetarily supported by the Greek Film Center.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
How do you rope volunteers into that? I don't know. Don't read the script. Just
Yeah.
we'll have pizza for you.
Yeah.
This won Un Certain Regard at Cannes in 2009 and nominated for Best Foreign Film at the Academy Awards and the Best the British Independent Film Awards.
I was working for our local art house theater when this came out, and I remember that the programming director and we thought it was so fucking funny that movie got nominated for Best Foreign Film. We're like, oh my god, there's so many normal people that are going to see this now, and they're going to feel horrible. Like, their lives are going to be ruined.
I think it's a story of hope and freedom.
Yeah.
Myself.
Right.
I love
that. Is not how my grandmother would feel if she watched this movie.
Yeah, no.
Maybe my mom's doing a good job in broadening her film horizons with some of the films that we do. So also maybe I'll see what she thinks.
Yeah.
All right, let's. Does anyone else have anything they want to add before we go into our ratings?
Not me.
Not you. You, sir? Ryan? No?
No.
Well, all right, guest. Why don't you go first and
All
give
right.
us your visibility and context rating?
Oh, yeah. I mean, certainly visibility. It's what is it? It's 5-point scale.
Yes.
5. I mean, you see his erection. I mean, it's not. There's no fucking eyes wide shut digital shadow people being put in front of that. It's there. I mean, it's open. And I mean, context-wise, it's as well. I mean, it fits very, very well, I'd say. I think it is extremely successful at what it's trying to do.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah.
Do you want to go for why don't you just tell us?
I want to say, okay. I think overall, I rated the film a 4.5. Mm-hmm. I'll stick with that. It probably is closer to a 4. It just happens to hit all the right notes for me as far as what I like to watch. Tonally, it really just really... It stroked my sensibilities properly. But yeah, so I personally love it maybe a little more than it deserves, but I am a very, very big fan of this film.
Okay. Do you want to go, Ryan? Are you comfortable? Are you ready?
I think I'm ready.
Wonderful.
I don't know if the visibility is as good as a 5, though. I maybe say it's closer to a 3 because it's awfully brief. Now, it's better than some films that we've done where some people would argue that you don't see anything at all.
Yeah, we don't need to bring those up.
Yeah, but I would say that, visibility is good for like a 3. And I do like contextually that, yeah, well, they're going to have sex. That makes sense. They're going to be naked. And you see his full-on raging boner. Ugh. As for, like, the father and his porky pigging and stuff, obviously doesn't need to be there, but it is very much appreciated that it is there. And as for, like, my rating on the film in general, I did give it a 4. This was my first viewing. It maybe suffers a little bit from the Ryan's first time viewing, bias that I have. So I'd probably enjoy it on a second viewing because I didn't find it as funny as some of you guys did. Now that we're talking about it now, it definitely is funny. So yeah, there is that. But I do think, yeah, there was a bit of a hump in terms of getting over the tone and really kind of getting into the meat and the bones of it a little bit. So I gave it a 4 because I think it's incredibly enjoyable and I like its style and I like what it's doing and it's incredibly fucked up and that's something I do enjoy regularly. So
for my visibility and context, I kind of went back and forth. There was more on the second viewing than I remember, obviously. I didn't know there was nudity in it when I first watched it. I was just wanting to watch it because I had never seen it and I thought, I'll frickin' watch this movie. And so I think now I'm going to give it a 4 just because of the frequency of it and because of the kind of the natural way in which it's depicted based on the setting and the context. The dad, yeah. The first time the dad takes his pants off, it was just too shadowy. But then you do see it later. That was really surprising. And I didn't love it. Didn't love the son's penis either. Anyway, 4. I'll give it a 4. It was gross. The film I also gave a 4. I really like this film. And yeah, you're right, Ryan. Like same thing. First viewing, I didn't realize it was funny. There was things that made me very uncomfortable. Still make me uncomfortable. But now I can see the humor in it because there does have to be that balance. And for people like us sitting in this room who do have quite a dark sense of humor about us, it works. It works for weirdos like us who can appreciate a dark humor and having things be so incredibly fucked up that you have to laugh. And there's a lot of weird, light, maybe not light, but funny things in this movie that I really enjoy. So yeah, 4. I would probably watch this again. Because you've done this for Uncomfortable Brunch, right?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, I didn't get to see that, which is a shame because that would have been really funny.
I'm trying to remember. I don't know if we did it at Will's or if we did it at Enzian.
Yeah.
I think we did it at Enzian when we first started there. This is how sad. I'm starting to have trouble remembering sometimes.
Yeah, I don't remember the episodes we've done on this podcast either.
Yeah, but yeah, I believe that we did it at Enzian, and it was because I remember it was one of those situations where 75% of the audience hadn't seen it before, but like 100% had heard of it. You know what I mean? And so being able to hear the that's really what that's all about. I really, really enjoyed that.
It's also funny, like, which Ryan hasn't seen it quite yet, but Love Lies Bleeding that Josh and I went and saw last night, and we started the laughter, I think, in that theater.
I think so.
From the beginning.
Yeah, because nobody
knew.
Yeah.
Nobody knew to laugh. And then and then they all kind of got into it later on, which is appreciated. But yeah, this is funny. Funny movie. Great. Yay.
Good.
Dogtooth. So happy you guys could talk about it. Are we good?
Yeah, I think so.
Anything else?
Yeah. I mean, I don't have anything else to say. There is the blindfold game. I thought that was really scary because you don't want to be blindfolded near a swimming pool. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still like the kids barking at the gate looking for the sister at the very end of the movie. Just barking to keep the dad safe from the cats. The brother throwing bits of cake over the fence for the brother that doesn't exist.
That was the sister sending the cake over the fence for the
And
brother.
then the other brother would throw rocks over the fence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, that comes to my end line, which is coming to you from the other side of the fence.
Yes.
I have been Laura. You go.
Oh, Ryan.
I'm Josh.
Yay! We did it. Enjoy watching this movie. Watch it with your family, everybody.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sunday afternoon.
Definitely watch
It's
it
a
with
family
your family.
affair.
It absolutely
It
is.
definitely
I mean, I'd watch it with my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
If my mom was around, I'd watch it with her.
Yeah. You wouldn't watch it with your dad.
Would you watch it with your brother?
Gross.
As we do. Hold on 2 seconds.